curious Mania. Lawrence? It's murky in here. As soon as Harold and Kim entered the office of the vicar, he felt slightly uneasy. Things appeared more disorganized than they normally were, but it was mostly just the darkness that contributed to the unwelcoming feeling. The only light source was that of the window, conveying the cloudy and grey weather outside. Sitting in said window, with one leg still on the floor and the other up on the windowsill, was the vicar himself, staring out towards the deep grey clouds and holding a decorative chalice in his hand. He slowly turned his head at his visitors. He looked at them for a few moments until he returned his eyes outward. "Come in. Be mindful of the floor." Papers and other knickknacks were strewn about in a fashion that only the one accountable for the mess would be able to navigate it. They stepped carefully around the materials and closer to him. "Always work to be done, no? Even in times like these," he said, eyes still on the clouds. "Pardon?" Lawrence revealed a written paper, and he moved closer to take it. By peering hastily into the chalice, he noted that what he presumed to be wine was uncannily dark of color. He took the paper and held it so Kim could see as well. "An unsightly beast discovered in the labyrinth. See the section about the blood samples." He skimmed ahead down and they immediately were attracted to the note reading, "Resembles the old blood." "How alike are we talking of here, sir?" Dr. Kim inquired, intrigued. "Verily, like we have never seen. I sensed it was something unique the moment I was told of it." Kim and Harold exchanged a glance while the vicar continued to be more interested in the outside world. "So this beast has the very same blood found in the preservations then? Can we truly confirm that, sir?" "We can. Tests have already been made behind closed doors." The vicar furrowed his brow and sported a terribly craven face for but a moment until he became neutral once more. "The truth, you see, rarely meets one's expectations. I certainly did not expect a medium of this divinity to be so feral." "What? Are you saying that the beast is the source of the holy blood?" Kim doubtfully exclaimed. "You know it to be true, hence the secrecy. This is a situation most delicate, for many will not believe their god is a flesh-hungry, labyrinth-dwelling beast." "No, that's preposterous. The blood must have been a cause for its form. By the gods, people in the streets turn by the blood, and here you jump to the conclusion like a mouse jumps the cheese." Lauren's expression was unfazed by the banter, and he answered in a detached tone. You are correct. The blood very likely is to blame. But you fail to see the opportunity.
So how do you argue regarding the Blood Saints? Their blood is an exact copy as well, but has never experienced any physical altercations.
The saints are not the answer. They may give us more blood, but that's all they amount to. Hosts. Never able to impart pure blood untarnished by beasts. Such an amount. Harald started pondering. It would be much easier to determine the cause for the transformation, would it not? Lawrence smirked. You be the judge of that. But yes, I would believe it to be so. Well, as long as we can contain the beastly trait of the blood, I would need to see how that beast's blood reacts in the human body to be sure. But whatever you need to do, you will do. Lawrence interrupted. Like you said, contain the beastly trait. It surely is the part of the process after all. A metamorphosis is expected, though beasts are not the preferred outcome. If we get to the source of that, we have unlocked the eldritch truth. He sipped from his chalice and licked away the remains from his lips. Something changed that beast, and is changing people. Through a metamorphosis, will man ascend? Pardon me, Vicar, but I never knew you to indulge yourself during the midday, Harald said with much judgment to it. Lawrence looked at them and silently held the chalice out in a cheery manner. The blood mends people's wounds. It enhances the hunter's flesh, and it brings peace to the mind. The fruit of the old blood has finally ripened. Quiet, refreshing and stimulating, and I must confess, it has been a great aid for my grieving mind. I apologize. I did not realize her loss had affected you so. He sat silently, his face once more attracted towards the sky outside. That saddened face return, now with more context to it. I want that beast's blood. I want that section to be sealed off. No one can know of this. It will only discourage their faith. Now we must conclude what it can do.
What of the beasts? Lawrence, the people are suffering from this ailment. The hunters can't keep up. Is it truly proper to condemn this beast to bloodletting, if said blood will likely produce more beasts?
The metamorphosis is a sign of the Great Ones. Sooner or later, those willing will escape their cocoon and become the glorious being they have dreamed of. A reality we all can share in. But this is not purely scientific now, is it? 'Tis the power of the elusive Great Ones. A taste of that power can drive the weak mad. We see them turn into beasts. Those with respect and have faith in the gods will not have to suffer such a fate. They know that truth yet awaits. Harald felt conflicted towards his master and mentor. He knew him to be right, and long had the blood been considered to be a great enhancer. He could remember the pain of when his mother had departed this world for the next. How easy the grief would create cravings for release in any way, shape or form. Back then there had only been liquor to numb the ailing senses. Now there was blood. He knew it to have great effects on the mind. He himself had developed it, but had never partaken of it regularly. They must have been very close, and such a sudden and unfortunate death must have one ponder thoughts most painful. At least he was not lost in the bottle. The holy blood ought to serve as a mender for such a cumbersome emotion as sorrow. That beast is our next stepping stone. It will lead us towards the greatness and the answers we need. It will all be worth it then. If only she had endured a little longer. It was calm within her own mind, where she was never alone. It was a comfortable feeling to know one never truly was alone. Some would disagree, but not Carol. She liked listening to the gentle whispers, the sounds that bounced around her. Like music, a divine experience indescribable for those that had not heard it themselves. But music was not this life-inspiring. While not hearing words, nor even feeling conventional emotions, she always knew what she needed to do after having visited her own mindscape. As if listening to the very strings of destiny playing their tune, and the only thing required was to give pause and listen as they did. The work had been fine, the friends been good, but now one was gone, swept away by unspeakable means. It was sign enough that times had changed, or that they needed to. It knocked on her door, and she sat up from lying on the sofa. One of her girls peeked inside. Emily.
Miss Carol? Oh, come on in. Oh, Lady Carol, I'm so sorry to see you go. Oh, I'm not leaving, dear. You make it sound like it's farewell. It is just time to change. I know, but it's sad all the same. You know why I must do it, don't you? I do. Right. It needn't be sad for you girls as well. There will be a great time. I have always thought you deserve more. I will do my best.
They embraced.
Don't let it take you away. Know when your time has come, like I have. Oh, Carol, you make it sound so somber. Sorry. Well, I should go and speak with Lawrence. Oh, the vicar, I mean.
Emily chuckled while putting her hand to her mouth.
He'd want to know I left operations to you. But don't you worry. You can come to me anytime. Or better yet, just stop and listen.
She playfully held her hand behind her ear, like she was listening more concentrated.
I will. I promise.
The bell of the astral clock tower chimed out to the city, calling the people for union under the gods. Carol imagined it to be a tasteful approach after Lauren's speech as vicar. She regretted deeply that they had not met for a long time before Maria's grievous departure, and was anxious while awaiting his arrival amongst the other attendants. But apparently it was not Lawrence presiding over the ceremony like she was led to believe. Walking out from behind the fountainhead shrine was a man she had never seen before. While he stood before it and addressed the masses, she hurried along the wall to vanish as quickly as she could through a door, taking her deeper into the cathedral. Bustling clerics was a vastly varying scene from the pious people's sermons once she entered the wing between the grand sermon chamber and the research hall. She approached the first one that seemed the least occupied.
Excuse me. I imagined Lawrence would hold the sermon. Where is he?
The orderly dressed cleric, bearing the garb of a common research hall worker, looked puzzled until he seemingly realized who was asking.
Oh, the vicar? Well, he's very busy, as you know. He tends not to leave his quarters as of late. Not since,
He stopped himself.
Oh, how sad. I better go see him right away.
She never liked the research hall. Not since she and Luna started that horrific project. She dared not ask whatever had become of those poor abominations, now that Maria was gone. Luckily she needn't linger in the creepy hall, as Lawrence had taken up quarters in the western building that made out the cathedral complex, the research hall being the center. She scurried up the spiral stairs to quickly remove herself from the hall's unsettling atmosphere. Up on Lauren's floor it was quiet. For someone that loved the silence, as it meant one could hear things better than others, the eerie quietude seemed more like a presence than an absence. The long hallway was very highly structured, and the light from the lamps reached not all the way up, having the walls end in darkness. The door was unmistakable. A thick, double door with a symbol of the healing church and her own communion rune weaved into the pattern. She bothered not to knock, though she regretted it after hearing how the door loudly creaked open.
Hello? Lawrence?
The darkness inside frightened her. Even more so did the thought that her friend potentially dwelled in such an environment.
Are you in here?
Carol. His voice was harsh, like he had just woken up while having a cold. Please, come in. The room became illuminated as she entered, revealing the grand desk in front of her. But the source of light surged from elsewhere. To her right, by the closed windows, in a large armchair with its back to her, he sat. His arm still reached for the lamp he had lit, and slowly withdrew it back behind the large back of the chair that completely concealed his figure. What a surprise. I am rarely so pleased with a visitor.
Oh, Lawrence. Do you sit here by your lonesome in the dark? I'm hurt you did not come to see me.
She walked up to the chair and laid her hand on it to peek around it. Well. He looked up at her. His gaze induced an extraordinary guilt, and she was unsuccessful at holding back a tear. Well, I'm sorry. She took a seat in the identical armchair on the other side of the round table with the lamp.
I did not know what to do with myself after. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lawrence.
I am too. But I blame you not. I understand. He took a sip from a glass with dark red liquid. She inched herself closer, leaning over the armrest towards him.
I was taken back so many years when I heard. But I did better this time. I found a soothing voice that consoled me, but still I cried my eyes out. Then I thought of you, how it was you that so dedicatedly came day after day to be my voice of comfort. It was impossible back then, I can imagine.
She wiped a tear and caught a quick flash of a smile on his cheeks. I remember well. You were quite inconsolable, with every right. He took another sip. Carol, it was my fault, you know.
No, Lawrence, that's wrong.
His face had remained the same since she sat down, staring into the window that revealed nothing but the curtains. It is true. She hated me, my own friend. But I thought... One lonesome tear traveled down his unwavering face. I thought she was content, helping those in the research hall. It was what she wanted. She told me so. He drank the remainder of his glass and put it aside. He sat for a moment in silence, with another tear making its way down his cheek. He closed his eyes and seemed for just a second ready to fall apart, but contain himself. Something about him in that moment made him appear like the older man that he was, not in the light of the boy she had always known him as. She had never taken much note of her own aging, but now she saw nothing else but his. Oh, but I knew it did not make her happy. She should not have needed to tell me, or anybody, that she was miserable. I should have stopped, but I didn't. I kept her doing what I wanted to do, while she did not. Oh, Carol. Who does that to his friend? He picked up a bottle from the floor and poured up his glass again. She knew him, at least thought to know, that he would never do anything that would harm Maria in any way. Yet she found herself with no answer to give. Formless Ödon. A secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth. The Great One Ödon, lacking form, exists only in voice, and is symbolized by this rune. Human or no, the oozing blood is a medium of the highest grade, and the essence of the formless Great One, Ödon. Both Ödon and his inadvertent worshippers surreptitiously seek the precious blood.